are here with Governor Jay Inslee to stop his debate performance. Nice to see you, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up.
So, what was your goal last night? Did you feel like you accomplished it?
Yeah, we had two goals last night. One, to show why I'm a unique potential president. Unique in the sense that I have prioritized defeating the climate crisis. I think we demonstrated that. I repeatedly said and kind of asked the other candidates to join me, saying this has to be the number one priority of the United States. I'm the only candidate who's made that pledge. And I'm the candidate that has had experience in this issue, passing a 100% clean electrical grid bill in Washington, having helped build a $6 billion wind industry.
Yeah.
I think we showed that. But we also had a great opportunity to talk about all of the multiple progressive achievements I've been able to lead Washington in since I've been governor.
Yeah. Well, I think that's something people, haven't necessarily tuned into with you is how much you've done, how long you've been working in politics, how much experience you have. And on climate, you have been a leader in Washington, but even in Washington, a blue state, there have been some initiatives that you haven't been able to get voters to accept. What does that say in terms of the country and how hard it will be to accomplish, really transformational climate policy?
Well, one thing I've learned about transformation, you got to be resilient, you got to be perseverant, you got to be smart. And we've been able to be all three in Washington. That's why, even though we had resistance, we've now achieved the highest minimum wage. We've had the highest teacher compensation pay increase in America. I've got past the very first public health option in American history. And we're radical in Washington. We believe women should be paid the same as men, so we have what I think is the best gender pay equity. We've done the first net neutrality. And now we have passed, I think, maybe tied with California, the best climate laws in the United States. I mentioned that we've passed a 100% clean electrical bid or bill guarantee for Washingtonians. We passed the best building efficiency bill. We've got a good incentive for people to help get electric cars and cleaner buildings. So we've had great successes in the last couple of months, best in the nation in several categories, if you're perseverant.
Yeah.
And that's what this is going to take.
I mean, have you followed what's going on in Oregon, where Republicans skipped town, right, because they didn't want to pass this cap and trade bill? I mean, and then these militias were going to protect the roads. It's insanity, right? But again, this is all digging the heels in on behalf of the fossil fuel industry to keep from major climate legislation passing. I mean, do you think we'll see that kind of massive resistance if we were to do that at the federal level?
Look, the fossil fuel industry owns Washington, D.C., at least the Senate right now. They've tied it up with millions and maybe billions of dollars of campaign contributions. We have to break that enslavement of our democracy. And I'm a candidate willing to look at the CEOs in the eye and said, you need to stand down. Fossil fuels we need to transition off of fossil fuels. That means take away their $20 billion of tax breaks that they've got. It means no more leasing on public lands. It means we're going to stop allowing you to put unlimited pollution in our one atmosphere without regulation. And I am very eager to do all of those things.
Yeah.
So will that be easy? No, and that's one of the reasons we have to get rid of the filibuster. We cannot allow Mitch McConnell, owned by the fossil fuel industry, to prevent progress on climate change. Our kids deserve better.
Yeah.
I talked about my grandkids last night, and I've talked to young people all over the country. They think it is immoral to degrade their world they're going to live in, and I agree with them. So it's time to get busy, show that Donald Trump is wrong. Wind turbines do not cause cancer, they cause jobs, and we're going to put people to work.
So last question for you, because I know you got to run and it's warm out here. So you got asked, all the candidates got asked, what's the top issue, I can't remember how it was phrased, number one geopolitical issue, threat facing the country. And everybody thought you were going to say climate change, and you said Trump. Why Trump?
Because it's the right answer. He is the greatest threat to American security for multiple reasons. He's a threat to our ability to keep our planet from burning up because of the climate crisis. And he's what stands between Americans and clean energy jobs. He's a threat in the Mideast because of his irrational, chaotic Iran policy, where we had an agreement.
Do you buy into this idea, though, that Trump is an aberration? If we just get rid of him, then we'll have functioning democracy? Or do you think he's part of a broader movement that we see here, we see abroad, we see in Europe, we see in Asia, etc.?
No. Look, we're going to have to take away the filibuster from Mitch McConnell. People are delusional if they think Mitch McConnell's going to abandon his buddies in the fossil fuel industry, upon whom he's dependent on for millions of campaign contributions, and sit down over tea and solve the climate crisis.
Right.
Look, those who say that there's some middle ground, it's good enough here, the middle ground is fatal. And people who've argued with me about my big, bold plan, they don't have an argument with me. They have an argument with science. And science says we have to do the things I am calling America to do. And if we do that, we'll rescue ourselves and our kids, and we will build millions of jobs. I'm convinced of that.
Governor, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good
You
luck.
bet. Thanks a lot.